Well, I think it's doing two things. I mean, it's systematically bombing a population indiscriminately. The bombing doesn't stop. It's constant. Even when we were out of the red zone, it was constant. There's not a minute goes by where you don't hear some sort of attack in the background. But more than that, I think that the aid situation is a systematic starving of the population and strangling the healthcare system. And I don't think that the system that's come in, the GHF, is achieving anything other than forcing starving Palestinians to walk miles to a distribution centre and put their lives at risk. And it doesn't really matter who's shooting who at these distribution centres. The fact is that the Palestinians have been reduced to such a level of deprivation that they are prepared to put their lives at risk for food. And I just struggle to understand how we can watch that happen.
What did you see in Gaza this time that is different to other times?
I think the biggest difference this time compared to when we were last in, which was August, is the number of children we saw. And I was going through the figures, and in August we were there for a month, and I had 20 children on my inpatient list, which is children that we were reconstructing, so doing more than one surgery on. This time I was in Gaza for a less amount of time, and I had 34 children, so I was in for a week less and I saw more children. And it's the ages of them, they're tiny, they're all like 7 and 6. That was the average age of the children that I'm operating on. And the injuries were way more severe. They had bits of their arms and legs blown off, massive amounts of skin loss from faces. I mean, it was really appalling injuries. It is as if somebody has specifically blown them up and they were the target of that bomb. It was really horrific. Leaving Gaza is really difficult this time because of the way in which we left, because of the fact that Nasser's in the active fighting zone. We couldn't do a direct journey from Nasser, which is about 3 miles, to the nearest exit, which is Kisifim. We had to go out onto the coast road, and then we had to drive up to the Netzarim corridor. And driving through the Netzarim corridor was just horrific. It was like wasteland. It was as if a nuclear bomb had gone off. It was just dust and dirt. There wasn't anything standing, no trees, nothing. And the IDF have taken over that corridor, so you see concrete sort of bollards where they've set up camps with signposts on in Hebrew, which is something I've never seen in Gaza before. And then as you leave that corridor and enter the perimeter road, on one side you can see the remains of Gaza, and on the other side is farmland being watered, and it's very dystopian.